If you can't already tell, I'm the biggest fan of RRR. I have seen it about 5 times now, 3 times in theaters itself, and the amount of times I've seen the individual scenes from the movie itself is infinite. And in this video, I'm going to be analyzing the song Dosti and why it works on a musical and storytelling level. Dosti, meaning friendship, is a song that accomplishes many things, which is one of the reasons why it's so great. It's a song that establishes a key relationship in the movie while also progressing the plot through montage in the form of a song whose lyrics mirror what we are seeing on screen. The song begins picking up from the absolutely perfect title sequence where our two main characters first meet through their act of saving a child together. One of the many iconic imagery of the film is the clasping of Ram and Bhim's hands, showing their unity. With this, both of them dive underwater and walk towards each other as they are surrounded by fire and water, which is a major visual theme of the film, as Ram represents the ferociousness of fire and Bhim represents the calm yet dangerous nature of water. And as these heroes come together, both fire and water also meet, and they once again clasp hands. As this is playing, the lyrics in its original language Telugu, when translated to English, talk about how this moment is a moment where a wildfire and a storm, a sun and cloud, an erupting volcano and wildstorm become friends. The actual meaning of the lyrics make for an ironic contrast with what's being shown on screen because we know that Ram and Bhim are currently on opposite sides, but they don't know it yet. Instead, they're becoming the best of friends, not knowing that this friendship will not last very long. This is supported with lyrics such as, "The friendship is between opposites. Will their rivalry ever come to the forefront? It's yet to be seen if this will end in bloodshed." The song brilliantly sets up their eventual enmity while establishing their current friendship. Another simple way they strengthen Ram and Bhim's friendship is just by showing them doing friendly activities with each other, such as riding a motorcycle together, being chased by a kid shepherd, running beside a train, a tug of war match, and what have you. These are simple moments, but that's why they're so effective. In these moments, we get to see them bond and just have fun as two friends together would. But Dosti also progresses the external plot forward in full motion. From the very start of their introductions, go check out my video on that, the film has clearly established the goals of these two characters. Ram's objective is to find the Indian who plans to rescue Murli from the British. Meanwhile, Bhim happens to be that very same man Ram is searching for, but none of them know it. And Bhim's goal is to get inside the palace and rescue Murli. The song continues to show them attempting to pursue their individual goals. Earlier in the film, Bhim's friend Lachu had escaped from Ram's clutches, and so we see Ram getting Lachu's sketch done by a forensic artist and going around the town asking people about his whereabouts. Meanwhile, Bhim stands outside the English palace, longing to go inside as he sees Jenny, also setting up their romance. There's a beautiful moment where you see Ram and Bhim walking right outside the palace, and despite them talking and laughing, both of them are laser focused on their missions. Ram searches for his victim amidst the town, not knowing that the man he's looking for is walking right next to him. Meanwhile, Bhim searches for Malli facing the opposite direction, as both of them are separated by a thorned barricade, showing how their eventual separation is inevitable. This is reflected in the lyrics when this moment plays with walking the same path but searching for different things. Won't this friendship break one day in the form of betrayal? This is an unforeseen turn of fate which has culminated in this friendship. It's yet to be seen if this will end in bloodshed. Both characters are frustrated as they find themselves to not be making any progress in achieving their respective goals, but they can't really show that frustration to each other. Another reason for why this song works just perfectly is because of setups and payoffs. Also, check out my two YouTube shorts on that very topic. There are several visual motifs in this song that eventually reach a form of catharsis that makes the storytelling incredibly satisfying. For instance, when Bhim is scolded for eating with his left hand, Ram looks at him affectionately. This is paid off later in a flashback when Ram's brother too used to eat with his left hand before he was shot dead by the British. Without a word, we realize that Ram sees Bhim as his brother. When Bhim is seen carrying huge loads of meat, we see Lachu storing the meat somewhere as a ferocious roar is heard. This is paid off in the interval sequence when Bhim breaks into the palace with a horde of wild animals, who he was secretly feeding. We see Ram on a horse and Bhim on a motorcycle, and this is a visual we have seen right before the song and in the climax of the film. We learn about Ram's wife Sita, who's represented visually through a necklace as Bhim learns about her existence. This is paid off when Bhim realizes that the person who helped him was Sita upon seeing the other half of that very necklace. Ram is shown at the center of a burning tire, again bringing back the theme of fire and water. And then, towards the end of the song, Ram does pull ups on the branch of a tree, and this is paid off when he does pull ups in prison in the climax. And Bhim lifts Ram on his shoulders, which of course comes back again in the iconic climax. Even the clasping of the two hands is shown twice in the song, and it comes back in the interval but with the emotion of them becoming enemies, and it also comes in the third act when they once again unite. Right before the song ends, we see both Ram and Bhim looking at the palace from afar, just to finally nail in their individual goals and their inability to achieve them. The reason Dosti works is because it is not only a great song, it establishes and gets us to believe and invest ourselves in the friendship between Ram and Bhim. It advances the external plot forward of our characters trying to achieve their goals. It has tons of setups for which they will be paid off later, and contains load of subtext reflected through the lyrics pointing out the dramatic irony of the situation of two eventual enemies becoming friends. If I'm being honest, I could really just talk about and find reasons to make videos about RRR all day long. This movie has not at all left my mind ever since I watched it for the first time in theaters. And it makes me so happy to see the film getting love from across the globe because it really deserves it. There has been recent talks about this film possibly getting Oscar nominations.
It's like RRR also.
Right.
The West sees RRR differently
Yeah.
than how we see. And they have loved RRR. If RRR becomes an India selection, 99% it might get nominated for the Academy Award. 99%. That's the impact RRR has had in the world of Hollywood. Like India actually might have a nomination
Yeah.
in the final five if RRR is the film that we pick.
I say just give it every damn award possible. Even if it doesn't get nominated, it doesn't at all deteriorate the quality of the film. The Oscars don't deserve this movie anyway. Rajamouli and team created a cinematic masterpiece of a film that deserves to be studied by film fans. And Dosti is just one of the many great songs that this movie has to offer. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe, you know the drill, and I'll see you later.